Gilo, how are you?
Doing okay.
Doing good?
Doing okay. My whistle is wet, and I think we're going on to, this is our extended recording session, as you like to call it, Tuesdays.
Tuesdays.
Yes.
Tuesdays with Maury instead it's Tuesdays with drinks. It's better that way.
Well, I think so too. So we did a couple of whiskeys. Now we're moving on to round 3, and round 3 is a beer.
It's from our fine friends at Dogfish Head.
What we have today is Super 8 per Dogfish Head. I'm going to read a little postcard. This little cute little postcard that they sent me. It's super, it's sessionable, it's Super 8. Super 8, 5.3 ABV, 5.3% ABV, is a Super Gose brewed with a bevy of heroic ingredients including prickly pear, mango, boysenberry, blackberry, raspberry, elderberry, and kiwi juices, toasted quinoa, and red Hawaiian sea salt. Vibrant red in color, it has a slightly tart taste and pleasantly refreshing finish, with delicious flavors of berries and watermelon. Now, as you can see, I've picked out 4 superhero glasses, and I've coated all these glasses with iocane powder because I, the Sicilian, have developed a tolerance to. I washed them with iocane powder-laced dishwashing soap. You get to pick your glass.
So I can't pick the one in front of me. I'm just going to go and pick this glass.
Because you're super?
Because I'm super.
Well, and Super 8.
Super
I got you.
That's just the way I am.
I'm with you. And me, I'm going to go with Wonder Woman because she's a wonder. Wonder Woman.
And Linda Carter and Gal Gadot, right?
They're okay.
You can't go wrong with either one.
No, you cannot. All right, so let's crack this baby open. Let's see if my mani-pedi this morning is going to help me out. No, I didn't get a mani-pedi. But I like to.
He just got the mani.
I just like to say mani-pedi. So
just get the pedi?
That was pretty.
Which one did you just get?
My pedis could use some pettying. Whatever that means.
All right,
so that is a really pretty beer.
That is the color that they had told us to look for.
That's a beautiful color.
That is a nice pour by
Look
you.
at that.
Not quite a pour by me.
You did
I'm impressed with the foam. It's a nice.
Because usually the sours go flat really, really fast.
That's nice. And the retention is good.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but I'll tell you this much. That is a beautiful pour.
So I suppose the bulk of that is the berries generating that color? Is that?
I don't know.
Is that what you think?
I'm trying to get the look at that. Look at this proper pour.
Is that what you think?
Pretty good pour. How's this? You didn't spill any.
I didn't spill any.
So that's good. So you got that going for you.
We're back to being super again.
I know. You know what? I'm a Wonder Woman.
You certainly are. Cheers.
Salute, sir. Salute. Hey, by the way, didn't Superman and Wonder Woman have a thing, or was that Batman and Wonder Woman?
I think Wonder Woman got around a little bit. Not really sure.
Well, she's wonderful. She's still looking for Steve Trevor. Let's see. What do you got on the nose there?
Vegetative. It smells a bit
like a fruit salad.
Like a garden, like a fruit salad.
Like a tart fruit salad.
Like you're in the midst of an orchard.
Oh, it smells very nice. I wonder what the dominant smell is. Do you think maybe it's? I would think the raspberries would probably be really. The raspberries and the boysenberries?
I would think that they're probably leading the color. I don't know.
Well, yeah, color-wise.
I don't know if the aromas would be. Because,
when I look at all these fruits, prickly pears are generally pretty sweet. Mangoes are very, luscious and creamy, and I do love mangoes. The boysenberry, the berries, per se, probably have a lot of the acidity. That we're gonna
and maybe a little thickness to it, too. So there's...
Question is, what's the quinoa doing? That's the question. What's the quinoa doing?
Probably provides a bit of a backbone, so it's not just juice.
Maybe.
You got to ferment some sort of a grain. So maybe the quinoa's.
I suppose. Because otherwise it's like a cider.
You made a wine or a barley wine, or not getting a lot on the nose.
No, just a little bit of the acidity.
Yeah.
And a good bit of fruit. Taste wise, it's a little syrupy. Did you taste it yet?
I did. It's. I think that's the base. The berries that's going to give you the thickness.
Yeah, not a whole lot of fizz.
Berries the jam.
It's a very soft fizz.
And then you move into the Gose. It becomes the
tart. But it's not overly tart.
It's a bit puckering and drying. It's very nice. It is. It's hot days, certainly. Sitting at the pool, certainly. It's in a can, so it's portable. Check.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's my... as far as Goses go, maybe not my favorite. But it is pretty good. Because it doesn't go to the extreme of a Gose. It doesn't get that really, really... acidic.
And I think that speaks to the session part of it.
Yeah, maybe.
That if you had one Gose that went way out, you're probably not going to go for a second one because your taste buds have been bombed.
Well, plus like with the acidity, I can only drink so much of it.
Where with this, it's like a baby gose. It's taken a certain way, but not all the way.
You know, there is a good bit of pucker because like my cheeks are all like very, very dry. But you know, on the back end, I think I'm getting like the sweetness from like the mango and the prickly pear. You know, like it starts off like with like almost like a lemony sharpness, like that. You know, that like a really tart berry.
Yep.
You know, you've had like one of those little fruit tarts with the berries on top.
Or,
when they're really fresh.
Or you just go in, you grab a blueberry that's really tart, or a raspberry that's really tart. Or, you know, they're not all strawberries. A lot of them have that puckering, that tartness.
Yeah, I mean it's nicely balanced. Again, it's not a super gose. Some of these things can get really, really tart and astringent.
I was expecting a little more sweetness up front. Which
I
don't know.
I'm getting the sweetness on the back
end. Yeah, but on the back end, which I don't know if maybe you had the sweetness up front, that wouldn't make it a gose. That would make it more of a St. Louis. You know, you're going out there and getting more of a raspberry beer.
Raspberry.
Or you're getting more of a Lindemans. You know, you're getting a fruit punch up front as opposed to what you're going for here.
Now, we know Mr. Calagione is quite the experimental kind of guy. He does some funky stuff.
That he is.
Ancient grains.
And he usually partners with people who are equally experimental.
Yeah, well, guess who he partnered with? Well, or I should say who inspired this beer?
I can't even imagine.
Kodak.
Kodak? The fine film
As we
development
shoot
folks?
On digital, Kodak. May I read a little paragraph from the press release?
Read away.
Oh, snap. There's more super info to share. Dogfish had developed the inspiration for this beer with friends from Kodak. In 2018, Calagione joined Kodak, a world-class technology company, to record an episode of their podcast, The Kodakery, discussing analog processes in the digital age. During the podcast, Calagione learned that the heightened levels of acidity and vitamin C in certain beers could make them an ideal processing agent for film. As luck would have it, the Dogfish R&D team was working to create a new beer that had similar profile and unique ingredient build to the liquid needed for developing film. Boom! Just like that, Super 8 was born and specifically designed to process Kodak Super 8 film. Early batches of the beer were sent to Kodak to begin development. A series of tests were done, and they successfully proved that Super 8 can act as a film developer.
How do we get on the R&D team?
I don't know, but I'm in.
Sounds pretty good.
It's got to be more interesting than what I'm doing on a daily basis.
Is R&D rapscallions and drunks? Is that what it is, or we go on research and development?
Isn't that your other name?
Which one is it?
Isn't that the other name?
No, that's just my family meetings.
I gotcha. So going back to this beer, overall, it's pretty good. It's not like they say gose, and there's some that I've had, and they've been like really, really sour. This is not. This is more like kind of mellow, easy drinking. It's almost like a training wheels gose, if you will. You know, but I can see it going nicely with a variety of food on a nice hot day. This is definitely a summer beer.
I'm getting more like it's like a watermelon sour, where you enjoy a lot of the watermelon beers. Mm-hmm. And I think this is along those lines. If it had a little bit more of a pucker, a little more sour to it, it's not really what I would want to drink, because I'm not a fruit beer, watermelon beer. I'm not a big fan of sours in general. Mm-hmm. But I think it's well done. And I like the fact that they try to make something that's a sour into a session beer. Again, the innovation over there is crazy.
Yeah.
But
I think they're having fun.
Yeah.
It's peak beer.
How could you not be?
We're in peak beer. So anyway, I would give it. Again, you know, I don't like to give grades because I don't think I'm that quite the expert. But if I was going to give it a grade, I'd give it a B plus.
B plus probably for the ingenuity.
Yeah.
Probably somewhere, if you're scoring a 1 to 100, somewhere in the 88, 90 range, somewhere in there, I guess.
I go mid to high 80s. I go in that range.
It was good.
It was very enjoyable. So thank you to the fine folks at Dogfish Head for sharing this with us. And let's go shoot some Super 8 film and develop some film.
First we have to find a Super 8 camera.
I'm sure we could. eBay, baby. eBay. Thanks, folks.
Cheers.